What's up, Vargas family? This is Madison, the producer of VargasTUBE, VargasCAST. You'll see me like doing behind the scenes with my boy Malik. We do all the content for the amazing Vargas family. And I'm on here right now before we play this podcast. What you're about to watch is a family that is so tight, so close, that even through thick and thin, through all the issues, they somehow still manage to stay together and come out on top, no matter what goes on with the family. And the only reason I'm on here is because I ask that you respect them and you show them love and encouragement for a family who's been through so much, to be so vulnerable and to come on camera, to get on the mic and talk to the world, talk to the fans, and bring everybody into their family. And I ask that after you watch this podcast, you leave a comment of encouragement and to let this family know that what they're doing is right. And the things they talk about on this podcast go a little deep. It's very emotional, and you're gonna see some things. And for a family of fighters to show emotion like that, it's just not something you see, but it's something we need to praise. So as we get into this next episode of VargasCAST, listen in. It's about an hour long, and just show love. It's beautiful to see something like this, and I hope this will bring some insight to this family, and so the fans can understand. And truthfully, I hope this can maybe bring other families close together, save some lives, in fact. And so, with that being said, here's another episode of VargasCAST titled Family Relationships. Thank you, everyone.
VargasTUBE, what is going on? This is the Vargas episode of the Dr. Phil kind of therapy session. Today's key points are family, the importance of family, and you know, I got my beautiful family here, per usual. If we could bring it up on the screen as well, because I don't think it's on there. There we go. What's going on, guys? How we doing?
Good.
Hello, everybody.
I got a mosquito bite on my nose. It looks like a pimple, but it's not. Just wanted a disclaimer. Just a disclaimer. Thank you. Please zoom in on it. Thank you.
Anyways.
That's it.
Vargas family, I missed you guys. I see all the comments. I love you guys. You guys are phenomenal.
100%.
We love our fans. We
love
thank
all
our
you
fans.
guys.
Our fans are very, excited that, we continue to do this, and we're just humbled that you guys love us.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Did you guys see where my dad socked that one dude in the stomach?
I know. I
goodness.
don't care what anybody says. He
That's
felt.
what I
He
said.
felt that. Even my mom was like, Ernie! I was like, yeah.
But
Then the queen was like,
But I measured
my mom's
him.
been there before.
I measured him and I said, "Bop."
But then the queen was
Wop,
like,
wop.
your mama was like, no, baby,
No,
don't.
dad did the Castillejo, the triple, quadruple left hooks. I was like, oh, I know he's feeling that one.
He can say that he won whatever he wants to say. I know he's shitting blood.
How was your hand feeling after that?
My hand hurt. I just didn't want to hit him really
You
hard.
tweaked it a little bit,
You
no?
didn't hit him right,
She was-
Mom.
Yeah,
No, I
you
heard. I
didn't.
was afraid to hit him.
days.
I was afraid to hit him, and then when I hit him wrong, and it was bad. But
I know he's pooping blood right now.
No,
As
and
we speak.
he probably woke up and he was probably like sore as hell. Like, damn, I got punched by every
Yeah.
Vargas.
I mean, my dad has broken a few ribs, his friends. I mean, I don't know if it was an accident, Vato, or not, but
That's when I used to drink. That doesn't count.
he's tough though. He's
Doesn't
very
count.
tough, man.
We have some key points that my guy Madison, shout out my guy Madison, he set us up with today.
my guy.
And first of all, we're very, very humble, just on how many compliments we get of my family, how close knit we are, and
We're almost at 10,000 followers.
Yeah, we
Wow.
just started.
Subscribers.
Thank you guys.
Thank you guys
each.
for
Thank you to
one
all
of
the
you.
fans for that. Thank you.
Hey, Pops, you had it, right? It was your YouTube channel that we did it with, and then we didn't really run with it, but now we got a team. We have everybody on board, and it's definitely a blessing because that YouTube is definitely putting us out there more, and people are starting to see just a different side and knowing us personally. So it's
thank
cool.
you to our team
Good
as
stuff.
well.
Yeah.
It takes a tribe, guys. So everybody behind the scenes, they're awesome. So thank you. I know they
Thank you,
appreciate you, guys
Madison.
too. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Monique.
5-star. You guys are the best.
Anyways, like I said, my guy Madison hooked us up with some points that we'd want to talk about today. And like I said, this is the Vargas Dr. Phil show. Dr. Vargas show.
Emmy's looking like Dr. Phil right
Just a
now.
little bit, me and my dad.
Classes in
we got
session.
the glasses going on right now. My dad has his glasses going on. I think this is the first time you've had your glasses on the podcast.
Vato looks like a professor. Like he's gonna teach you something very deep. You know how pastors are gonna drop nuggets?
Man.
He's gonna drop them right now.
Anyways, one of the talking points that are on here is obviously families can be an essential source of affection and encouragement. And I feel like whether it's your personal family or someone you look up to or whatever the case would be, because like you, Dad, you didn't come from a very tight knit
Negative.
family.
I come from the total opposite, but I think it's I always yearn for to have a family, like, so that's why I talked to your mom into having kids young, and through the good, the bad, the ugly, everything I put this great woman through, she never left my side, and she had more than the right to leave my side and really just not want to be with me. But I'm just grateful that she kept this family together.
Yeah, man.
I seen a comment. Oscar De La Hoya. If you guys don't know, he commented under one of the pictures. I think was it the video you put up of when Junior was fighting? And he said that
really?
about my dad, my pops. What did he say?
He was just
That he looks up to our family, huh?
Yeah,
like it's
man.
something. Envidia de lo bueno. Like, man, I want that.
It's like Junior said, the translation of that in English is envy, but in a good way.
Yeah.
So it's just the thing is this, you could have, obviously Oscar's very successful in the things that he's done, and we have a close relationship with his son as well. So it's awesome to see that one of the greatest Mexican fighters,
Mexican,
looks up to you, Dad, and our family, and just the way we are. And I think that's something special that we do have. It's something that I get complimented on the day. Even when we're talking boxing contracts and promotions, people are attracted to our family, and it's a blessing. It's a blessing for sure. But not to get too much off topic, I feel like, how do you feel that our family has really affected you personally, Junior, and in your day-to-day life, or just any of us? I feel like that's a question for all of us, just how the affection and encouragement has really helped us out.
I think sometimes it could really help us, and sometimes it could work against you at times, because we're so close and tight-knit. We just feel we could just say whatever. But I feel sometimes we need our space, and space is good. Even I know, Mom, with you and my dad, sometimes you guys need a little bit of separation. But at the end of the day, I know no one would want anything better for me than my dad, my mom. I went through some trials in my life, maybe mine are bigger or smaller than yours, but regardless, we all go through stuff. And the only people that were there for me is everyone here at this table. So that mentally, when things get bigger, there's something to definitely, know that your family has your back.
I think that every person in my family has a role in my life, especially my dad and my mom and my brothers and my sister. Everybody has their own way, and the way of talking to me. And I feel like having a strong family, it's good because it helps you cope with certain stuff. I could talk to my brother about certain things, or I could talk to my mom about this, or Dad, I don't like this in sparring, or I just feel like that is the most important thing. Family is the most important thing, and when you're close, sometimes you gotta give them their space as well.
Facts.
But that's what it's about. I love having different vibes and different people that I could talk to in my family.
Awesome.
And you, China? How do you feel like that's affected you? I mean, you're the only daughter, obviously, and I feel like, sometimes it could be a lot on us. I know for a little bit, the tension was on us a lot.
It's always about us.
And I feel like, how do you feel about that, and how have you managed with that actually? Because we are tight knit. We are tight knit.
But It's like there will come a time where like it's all about you guys, but it's not like like I hate you guys for it. It's something that I understand because you guys are working like for your towards your dreams to accomplish something. Now it's not like mom's giving a certain kid like certain attention because she loves him more or loves the other one more.
Yeah.
But it's because you guys are like going somewhere in life and she obviously needs to put more attention to you guys. So I understand it.
We love you so much, China.
That's-
And you're turning 15.
yeah,
so
yeah.
I said it on a few
Go
podcasts, and
51.
I
we'll
know,
say it
like
again.
him.
All DMs are checked by that
Alright.
man.
Yeah, man.
Just so you
Yeah,
know,
man.
just whoever it is.
Da-da-da,
But-
da-da-da.
and you know what? You guys are some pigs.
Yeah,
Let me
hey,
just
go
tell
ahead.
you this.
Talk on it, Dad.
No,
But PG,
Vato,
PG.
okay, no.
Right.
But
Talk on it, Dad.
Vato, you're like 25, 26,
Yeah,
27,
yeah.
and you're like, you're so beautiful.
But that's
Really?
where big bros
Really,
come to
Vato?
play.
This-
Because we don't
this-
play that.
So that's an example, guys, of how important it is for parents to supervise, right, their communication and stuff
I
like
just
that.
gotta say one thing. When it comes to my sister, this is how I remember my sister.
Zoom in on that.
The Hawaii one where she's like,
You know what we call this?
Wonder Woman.
We call her Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman. She was a
We call her Wonder Woman.
China VargasCAST.
And this was China. What? How old were
And
you?
then she was
Probably like 5.
You're so
And do you have that video or no?
I have that video.
And she would say this, Daddy's getting a bill. Or she would say,
No.
he's creepy. Very creepy.
Yeah, and then he goes, no, he goes, well, no.
When you were stopping drinking.
When I was still drinking, she was like,
Yeah.
I thought you were a man of God. And she hit me with that.
No, hit the second part.
She goes, what are you drinking the beard?
Drinking the bill.
I want to go back to what Anna was saying.
Classic.
I know. I think with me and my husband, I think what's worked very well is having a good communication with our kids. We talk about everything, and we have to learn. And it's been hard, guys. It's been very hard to learn how to listen and not jump the gun, because as you can see right now, we just talked about messages in a DM about my daughter, and he exploded. But I think that's key. I think when it's a little too much for us, China goes to Emiliano, she goes to her other brothers, and then if it needs to be said, then it comes to us. If it isn't, they can talk about it. We trust them that they're going to guide her in the right direction. So I know certain things like that help us. As far as I know, me and my husband, we both had different upbringings, and
Very much.
yeah, I love.
Very different.
My mom has been very loving, very.
Yeah, man.
But she's very old school, and so is my dad. And it's funny because they divorced, but they're so close.
They're still together.
And I never.
Pop still loves her.
I have so much love from both of them that when, obviously, my husband later on, we'll get into that, but when he went through some stuff as a kid, obviously
man.
you tell your parents, and sometimes as parents we fail to listen. We may have a lot of things going on. I don't know. I'm not there to explain why that happened, but sometimes as kids you feel that you can't go to your parents, and my husband had a lot of anger, and that kind of trickled into our relationship. So it's very important, ladies, when you obviously the relationship matters, how their upbringing is, because it brings in baggage, and then guess what, the girlfriend has to deal with all these issues, and so
But
even-
never physical.
no, but I'm just
Never
saying
physical.
there's-
It might have been anger because of what I went through,
course.
but never physical with
No,
me.
and I'm
my
thankful-
kids never ever seen you, me.
no, I'm
Nah,
saying,
never.
I'm saying anger of you, what you went through as a kid.
Yeah.
But I think that even went to like your guys' marriage, because even when you would try to, my mom would try to hug you.
Speak
Yeah.
on that.
You'd be like,
that was crazy.
you know what I mean? You could, share on it a little bit, that whatever you want to touch on, but you didn't know love.
So when I was with my wife, we were kids, right? And so you're growing as a couple together, right? And so, my wife is so loving, and like she's had that love from her parents. So, unfortunately, my mom, when I try to hug her, she'll be like, ¿Qué quieres? ¿Qué quieres? Me vas a despeinar. Like, so
Translation.
I knew
Translation.
pride. I knew pride that day. So when I wouldn't hug her no more because I just knew pride. I didn't want. It was weird for me.
She'll be like, get off me, get off me.
So me vas a despenar, and I'm like, but I just wanted to hug you, my mom. So
Yeah.
So when you're not used to having that love, and then you have a girlfriend at that point in time, she was my girlfriend, you know, hugging you, and I'm like, baby, I'm hot. Scoot over, please. Go over there. And she goes, you know, and this was like, you know, relationship stuff that it helped me grow as a man and as a husband, because, you know, she goes, okay, well, I'm your wife. You don't want me to hug you? I'm not gonna hug you there. I'm not gonna ever touch you no more. I'm like, baby, I'm sorry. I'm just not used to it.
Yeah.
Now, you guys see me on the video on TV on the podcast. I'm always holding her hand. Right now, I want to be next to her because, you know, I was on that side. I was where I was the model's at, but I go, no, I want to be next to my wife. And I'm always touching her because, you know, now, you know, she helped me grow.
That's right.
As a man that didn't have love like that.
Yeah.
I didn't have love for my mom like that because that's not the way she was brought up either.
And then your pops was put
then
away.
my dad,
Yeah.
it's like, that's like not even somebody that was present. So how am I going to ever say that I had his love? I didn't. So I grew up very cold. And maybe I am cold at times, like, but not with my kids. I try to be like the best I can. Like with you guys, I always hug you guys. I love you.
You may yell a bit, but we know you love us.
Yeah.
Hey, Mama, how were you when you first came? Fernando! Like when you first went to my dad's mom's house?
Yeah, my parents were very quiet.
So check this out.
And I go into his house and they're just screaming and
For everything.
my parents never cussed. I think the closest thing that came to a bad word was estúpido. And that was bad. So that's like dumb. But I went in there and it just was so different. So our families were very different. You know, I love my mother-in-law. I'm not here to say any bad things, but obviously she was raised differently as well.
Right.
So like I said, it affects each generation.
Yes.
And I
Big
think
time.
and I think we wanted to, obviously, we're like, I told him, you need to be more caring, you need to be more loving. And, you know, sometimes it's okay to call those things out. You know, that's what we want. And don't think that I figured it out by myself. Like, we have our spiritual coach, which is Pastor Fernie.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Pastor Fernie Franco, Oxnard, baby.
I'm surprised you have hair, Pastor, because he's gone through so many things with us.
And he stays skinny.
My spiritual father.
But that's our coach. And you know what? At any time, we're honest, and he doesn't side with one of us. So parents, if you need...
Well, what's right?
Yeah. I know what helps my husband, too, is calling Garcia Big G. He calls him for any father thing, husband.
Whenever
you know.
I need advice from a man that I respect, like, I'm going to be honest with you guys. If he was to slap me, I wouldn't touch him. I would never even, I wouldn't even, like, I love him like that. And, you know, because, you know, he raised me since 12 years old. He taught me so much in life. And, you know, on the way to the gym, he'd be like, Fernando, mira esos drogaditos. Nunca hagas una droga. Never do a drug, Fernando. Never. Look at those guys. They're drug addicts. And then, you know, never do a drug. He always is like, would talk to me and you know, and I always stayed loyal to Garcia. And, you know, even if he didn't train me, I still paid him. You know what I mean? And so, because to me, he's my dad. Yeah. You know, he's my father. You know, and I call him Jefe. I call him Jefe, ¿cómo está? And he goes, and man, I almost cried when he hit me with this one, because I said, Jefe, le voy a ganar a hacer 3 campeones mundial, pops. I'm gonna beat you. I'm gonna do 3. I'm gonna have 3 world champions that are my sons, and he goes, no, Fernando, me vas a empatar. You know, for him to.
He basically called you his son.
For him to say that I'm his son.
It was Robert.
You know. Right, because Robert Garcia, you know, my compadre he made him world champion. Yeah. Then he made me world champion.
From nothing.
But he made Mikey world champion, you know. So I said that I was gonna beat him because I have my 3 boys, but he said no, he's gonna be a tie. And so wow, you know what I'm saying? So that was a blessing to me.
Yeah, I
you
feel
know,
like,
and to me, I'll do anything for Garcia. I'll do anything for him. You know,
this is exactly what I'm talking about. You know, there's many people. I think we come from 2 different backgrounds. You know, I was fortunate to have the love from both of my parents, and in a family where we are very close. I'm very close to my brothers and my sister, and then you have obviously my husband that had a stepfather. It's just different, and
I wasn't even my sister was Bobo. You're a female dog to me.
It's okay.
You're a female dog to me, and so you know. But I love my sister, and I treat her like my little sister, and she's my older sister. My sister's crazy.
She fights. She said, "I don't pull hair."
She don't pull hair. She scraps.
Oh, yeah.
And so but my sister was like always like, "What do you want? What do you want?" And so like I didn't have a real good relationship with her, but now I do as an adult.
You think that because you being her brother, because I know how we get when we see China looking pretty, like, hey, go change her. But she was older, right? So you would still be the younger, but you were like the big younger brother.
Check this out. So she was like, So she started talking to dude. She goes, I go, you're not talk to that fool. She goes, I'm older than you. You're not telling me what to do. She goes, and I go,
is that Vargas blood?
I don't care. She goes, well, I don't care. She goes, well, what's up? She goes, well, what's up?
She's crazy.
And then so she
yeah,
goes,
you're crazy.
She would try to fight me because she's my sister. She's a Vargas.
Yeah,
so I tell my boys, don't ever pick a fight with your brothers because you think they're gonna. Are you gonna stop fighting? Are you gonna stop fighting? Are you gonna stop fighting?
It's the same blood.
Are you gonna stop fighting?
That's another thing. It's just respect. At the end of the day, we know what it is. At the end of the day, You're not a female dog. I'm not a female dog.
Thank you.
So we come from the same blood. So you know what it is. But it's all about respect. But in any family, I feel like if you don't have respect, then you gotta have respect.
I feel like
how nice is that? That's not nice at all to live like that. You're gonna fight with your own brother. You're gonna come into a room and want to put hands on him. Come on.
Bro.
You know your blood. Your blood is his blood.
Yeah.
And so at the end of the day, we never taught you guys that, and so that's why you got so. And to me, it's a blessing that you guys are all so close.
And we're not perfect at all. If you guys think we're not perfect at all, we bump heads, and we come on this podcast and we talk how great our family, but we're not perfect.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're not perfect. We go through certain stuff, we're real. But at the end of the day,
he takes my charger. We fight over.
He wears my shoes. I wear his.
Exactly. Even the underwears. No. but we just love each other, and we're not perfect. 1,000%.
But I mean, touching on what Dad was talking about, I feel like we all have somebody that we go and talk to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
facts.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's just so important, whether it's and this goes out to anybody watching this on the VargasCAST. You can't bottle everything up and explode. That's the thing. We all have somebody we could talk to, and if not, find somebody, man. It's just so important to let emotions go, because what emotions are is it's just energy and motion. That's how you're feeling at the moment. I got my glasses on. I'm real nice right now.
Really studious.
No, but
even when we're mad though, Emmy, every time I'm mad, I call Frankie, and he says, "Junior, you don't do that."
I love that guy.
Every time he's like, every time you're about to make a decision, make sure your emotions are in check. Don't talk to your dad when you're angry. You wanna speak with diction.
Speak with diction.
Honestly, because I know.
He calls you Junior
I know
Vargas.
Frankie's watching this. I love Frank. Nino, I love you with all my heart.
For
Nino.
real.
There is nobody in this earth that I mean, besides my dad or my mom, that I can confine in more than you. I feel like I feel like you're that person for me, and God put you on this earth for me.
He started off as your strength and conditioning coach, right, Pops?
That's my Nino. He's amazing.
That's the one that told me, you don't want your kids to fight, champ? I said, no. And he goes, so, okay, all right, well, who's going to tell your kids that they can't be like their daddy? Because I'm not going to tell them.
Yeah.
So when he put it like that, I said, I gotta support him.
I have so much stories about my Nino.
We gotta
I
have
this
him on here.
Yeah, we'll put him on the Frankie Baby. We call him Frankie Baby.
I call him Frankie Baby. I planked him Frankie Baby.
Then my dad planked him Frankie Baby, but my Nino Frankie Baby is a very beautiful soul.
He's a very militant man.
Yeah, he is military.
Very military.
And he has stories. He said, you know, I was a kid. He said, I'm Oliver, man. He's athletic. He was 4 years old, and I told him to take off the jacket, and he took out the jacket, and I told him to hit the baseball bat, and I said, you see this ball? I want you to look at this ball, and I want you to hit it. And when I hit it, he said there was a guy running, and he stopped, and he looked at it, and he's like, whoa, how old is this kid? He's like, that's the first time he ever hit that ball in his life.
Yeah, that's dope. Nah, but Frankie's he's a veteran. He actually served in the Vietnam War.
Yes, he did.
So I was like, Frankie, how was it? You know, seeing certain things, certain images. I'm sure affected him. You know, so he's definitely someone we could vent to. I think that we all have our certain people. You know, I know my parents have Pastor Fernie. You know, we have spiritual coaches too. I have Pastor Jimmy. I have Pastor Jimmy. He was real instrumental in my life. I went through some things. You know, I made a mistake in my life and
like we all did.
Everybody makes mistakes.
And I had to pay my debts to society. But
you did that.
At the end of the day, I believe it helped me and it grew me and it matured me. Because my dad said this. He said, I wasn't listening to no one. I was going 100 miles an hour and I was going to, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, you're young. You think you know it all. He was like, Junior, if you don't listen to my rules, you will definitely listen to somebody else's rules. And I didn't know what that meant at the time. But then later I was like, that's what he meant.
If you're locked up, guess what? They're going to tell you when to eat, when you sleep. And so all that.
I just feel like life teaches you the greatest
100%.
lessons.
Yeah.
Life will teach your parents, everybody, they could tell you a certain thing, but when you fall straight on your face and you taste that and you see, okay, this is what it is, then that's what life does.
And we go through highs and lows.
Yeah.
And not only that, to anybody who doesn't have lows, you know, it's not.
You need that.
You need it. At the end of the day, there's so many things that our family has been through. Lows.
Yeah.
Lows
man.
that have built us and brought us together. What you see today, what you see how close-knit we are is because of things we've been through. And we don't have to speak on those things, but what I'm saying is, and you don't have to share everything to other people as well. I feel like there's some things that we keep private as a family, and there's not to get too spiritual, but you know, as a family, just the values that we have instilled in us is something that, you know, I will have forever.
I think what I love is that we always say we laugh hard together.
Yeah.
We pray hard together. We cry hard, and we fight hard. I mean, that's the truth of it, right? Sometimes we're like, you know what? Let's duke it out. Like, let's get in the ring. Yeah. You know, one on one. Like, let's do it. And
but you know, there's a scripture. I'll speak on it because we're Christian. You know what I mean? We're not perfect. We may slip up, contradict ourselves.
Some more than others, like myself.
But there's a scripture that says God works all things for the good.
Those who love him and called by his purpose.
See, Pops instilled that in us, though, you know, and it's like, there's also another scripture that says, you know, raise a child in the way he should go. And
when he was older, he will not depart.
So he instilled in us. He may not have been perfect, but he'll make sure Sunday we're in church. If we're not in church even to this day now, and I'm 25 years old, Fernando, where you at? And if I give him a weak excuse, like I'm just resting or I'm going to go run, he knows that I just slept in and I was lazy. Yeah. And the whole day, he's not talking to me. He's giving me the energy like, you should have been in church, Vato.
Yeah, but not only that,
but we're in the position because God is in this family.
Yeah, and we're not religious or anything like that. I love God and I have a relationship with him. And I'm not perfect, but you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I love God, and I'm not in church every single Sunday or whatever, but I do have a relationship with him, and that's what helps me. I'm not the Vargas.
People use that as an excuse, though. I feel like I'm not perfect is a slogan that's thrown around too much today for people to justify their mistakes. And I feel like, you know, people hide behind that, and whether it's religion or not, we should try to better ourselves every single day. Yes. Whatever helps you. If you feel like doing yoga at the top of Mount Charleston, hot yoga with, you know, in a tutu, if you feel like that makes you a better person at the end of the day, go do it. Do it twice a day. How about that?
I was a little sad. I love everybody that follows us. Thank you so much. I was a little sad. Sometimes I don't post as much, but I remember it was I think it was Thanksgiving, and I was reading some of my comments, and it made me really sad because even some comments I think in our podcast, you know, I hear and I mean, my boys read it,
can't stop.
and I read
They're
it,
gonna
and then
talk,
I
Mom.
read it, right? No. I'm just saying that they say, I wish I had a family.
Okay.
I wish I had,
You have a beautiful
you know,
family.
a close bond, and
Yeah,
it
it's a
breaks
lot
my
more good.
heart because,
Yeah.
you know, you may be alone, but not blood makes you family. And I
Yeah.
think we were talking about Frankie, baby. You know, he's a white dude. We call him. Yeah, you know, you're Mexican. You
He
got your
gives the
Mexican
wettest kisses
papers.
Ever.
Okay, but
like a dog.
leave him alone.
And then the way he
But-
cries, my dad gave him a ring. And how did he cry,
know.
Dad?
Championship ring.
He said, "My champ, my But go ahead, champ." Mom.
But what I was getting at is, you know, you may not, if you don't have a family,
True,
you may
Mom.
only be one sibling. And,
Yeah.
you know, tragedy, I just lost my brother. And, you know, you want to talk about going through
Yeah,
things. You
man.
know, I was in COVID and I lost my brother like 3 days
We weren't even able to mourn.
You weren't
having
even-
COVID.
Yeah, you're right.
And it was really hard. And I feel like tradition, you know, it's hard for families.
Yeah.
My brother was born on September 15th, Mexican Independence Day, and he passed away July 4th, American Independence Day. And just not being able to hug my dad. I had COVID, and my dad was downstairs, and I could hear the scream of my father. Never forget it. And my sister and myself, and I couldn't hug anybody. And it was the hardest thing I felt, I went through. And so when I read things like that, and you have friends that are close, you have coworkers that, you know, there's many people that are lonely, but it breaks my heart to read that. And I want to share that, you know, just get together. There's so many social things you guys can bond in your community and get to know people. Go to the gym. You know, I know we had a gym and we were like a close family, and so, you know, it doesn't necessarily have to be blood. So
And not only that, Mom, you're so awesome, Mom. I love you
Yeah,
so
she
much. But
is.
Yeah,
just aside
mama
from that,
bear.
you know,
thank you, babe.
my dad, he didn't come from
Yeah, man.
the best family. My dad, you know, but sometimes God puts us in positions to where we're the example for other people. And my dad was that example for his family. And I know that, you know, my dad, although not knowing what it is to have a father, is one of the best fathers.
Yeah.
And you know, they were planning on aborting my dad, you know, and it wouldn't have been no Fernando Vargas, no podcast if he would have been aborted. And
There would've
it
been
hurts
me.
me. It hurts me that, you know, a currency could change a relationship as far as it being fake. But like my dad tells us, he said, son, even though it was fake, it felt good. And you know, I accepted it. You know, they would do just extra things, you know, I don't want to go into detail, but you knew it was fake.
You're gonna be sadly let down if you think that people are gonna do you like you did them.
But I think
Just understand that, you know, whatever it is, you know, like I said, it felt good because even though it was fake, it felt good. You know, I don't have no love like that. Like, you know, like I told you, it was tough for me to show love to my wife until, you know, she helped me break that. You know, because but her love helped me break that.
I think love conquers all, and I feel like yeah, it's just
And so it's just, to me, I'm just blessed. You know what I mean?
I
Like
love you guys
like
so
a great
much,
woman. God took care of me
Oh,
from the
man.
jump. From the jump, because this family, like I said in many times, no.
Did I tell you? Wait till I see God.
What are you going to tell them, Mom?
I'm gonna tell the Lord,
She goes, Lord, why
what
me?
did I do?
What did I do?
No, I'm very proud of my husband. I know that.
Yeah, it's come a long
there's
way.
a lot of things in our marriage. Like I'm surprised. I was holding on to a thin little string, and so I just want to acknowledge the effort. I mean, that he did. It's not easy to get out of those situations, vices and strongholds. You know, we've touched about it, alcoholism.
Yeah.
I mean, it was really hard for our family, but I'm very proud of my husband because, you know, it takes a lot, and you know, it's not easy. It didn't happen overnight, for sure. And also my kids understood, and we were cheering Dad on every day, you know. And did he fail sometimes? Yes, but we kept on telling him, "You got this, Dad.
Yeah,
you got
it,
this."
Dad, yeah.
And China, as we said earlier,
The
she
build.
said, "Dad, another build, another build."
So, but look at such a blessing to me.
Yeah.
That my China that will never remember me drunk. My Naya will never remember me drunk. Amado, maybe.
Yeah.
Junior, of course.
But it came out of depression. It came out of depression.
But, you know, like for you to remember me drunk, my Wonder Woman.
I love seeing that.
Someone
picture.
zoom in on her, please.
And so did I
Put that
can
on
say
there.
that
So you don't forget.
I don't know if you remember me drunk, but you know.
No, we don't.
I just remember good times.
Yes.
Okay.
But that is like,
but-
yeah.
But just so you know, guys, look, we're very imperfect. Like
Very imperfect.
Very imperfect. We have our dirty stuff, right? Like our clothes are
Like
within our
everybody.
home.
Yeah, pero queremos traer a mi abuelo. A ver, vente.
Hey, Pop.
Why don't
Back
I bring my
in the
dad?
mid.
Vente, grandpa, pa' acá.
Okay.
You guys loved him the other
Yeah, man.
the
And
other
we-
time he came in, so we had to.
Get this.
And he's still looking for a Jaina.
Abuelo,
He's still
puedes-
looking for a Jaina.
Abuelo, ¿puedes hablar español?
¿Puedes hablar español?
Sí.
Todo el mundo, preséntese, por favor.
Y
El master.
todavía
El
es single y
master.
quiere un sexy lady.
Y quiere buscar
No,
una sexy
Con grandes
lady.
pompis.
No, quiere un sweetie. Un
Hey,
sweetie.
sweetie.
Primero quiero darle gracias a Vargas.
Habla
Hablaría en el teléfono, ¿ok?
Micrófono.
En el micrófono, teléfono.
Por apoyarnos.
Más cerca, muy cerca.
Más.
Más.
Akira, así.
Estás hablando en el micrófono.
Así mira.
Pregunta.
Ahí está.
Háblale a sus jainas.
Ok, no quiero darle gracias a Dios por la familia Vargas, que siempre ha habido unidad y siempre hemos corregido a mis nietos. Siempre Marta es fuerte, ¿ok? Ella cuando dice una cosa, le duele a quien le duela, ella lo hace. ¿Ok?
You said my mom
felicito
is
a mi hija.
strong.
Quiero hablar de dos cosas, de mi hija y de Fernando.
Well,
Okay,
she
que es
wants
mucha
to talk
alegría.
about two things about Marta and about me. He says that first and foremost, my wife has been very strong woman.
Primero quiero darle gracias a Dios por todos los que ven en Tijuana. Gracias por todo que están viendo el show.
Want to thank God for all the people that are
Todos
seeing in
sueños.
Tijuana. TJ.
Y a todos los que nos están mirando, también gracias y que sigan viendo
And
más.
everybody that's watching now, and thank you
Pastor.
for
He's a
continue to
vibe.
watch.
Pastor evangélico Alfredo López.
I love my grandpa. Go ahead.
Quiero decirle con respeto a mi hija que me quito el sombrero mexicano por lo que hizo por mi ex.
Sí.
¿ok?
I say I want to take up my Mexican hat
Let her stare
for
me.
what she did for his ex, which is my wife's mother.
Mi hija, mi hijo
Habla aquí, abuelo.
mi hijo se murió y se quedó ella sola ya, ¿me entiendes?
Yeah.
My son died, and she stayed
During the COVID
Upstairs.
thing, yeah.
during COVID.
Ella se quedó sola ya.
And she was alone over there.
Y mi respeto es para mi hija porque mi hija, sin yo decirle, ella se la trajo a su mamá. Y si no se hubiera traído a su mamá, mi hija, ella se había muerto allá donde vivía. Y eso para mí, yo estoy bien agradecido con mi hija.
Yeah.
Y no, yo
Said if you-
con nada le puedo pagar ni a Fernando tampoco. Eso no se paga porque eso es de familia. Eso por eso estamos hablando de familias. Eso hagan las madres o hijas, hagan a su mamá así como hizo mi hija.
Go
Yo
ahead,
le
man.
recomiendo, hagan como hizo mi hija y
So
eso
do what
honra a Dios.
everybody's-
¿Ok?
So
Eso honra a Dios, yo
what,
estoy seguro.
what his daughter
Porque el amor
did
de
for
una
her.
madre para mí es igual que el amor de Dios para nosotros.
Okay.
Y diga
A
lo
ver.
que diga la gente.
Okay, let's pause real quick.
Let me just break it down for a lot of people,
Non-Spanish speakers.
non-Spanish speaking people. Like I said, we go through our valleys, and one of those valleys, obviously, being my uncle dying.
Yeah.
And on top of that, my grandmother during that same time being diagnosed with cancer, stage 4, and if that didn't happen with my uncle, then my grandma wouldn't have known that she had cancer. And I feel like, look, God works in mysterious
Amen.
ways. There's just some things in this world that you can't explain. And there's things that, you know is God. That is.
Y no nomás cáncer, hijo, tenía tumores, yo no sabía.
Sí. Pero también con eso, with that being said, you know, God works in mysterious ways, and, you know, we're so grateful for, you know, obviously now we're
cancer-free.
Cancer-free.
Praise God.
Wow. I love you.
What a trial we went through. I mean, I'm just going to talk real quick.
Yeah, go for it.
I know.
Talking to dads.
Took him mine.
At the, okay.
You share the mic.
Okay, baby. At that moment, I said that to my kids and my husband. I just want to thank my husband for being so understanding. I know it's hard to have my dad, right? I mean, everybody loves my dad, but to bring in also my mom, and they divorced, so you don't know how the household would be. And with no hesitation, my husband said, "Go get your mom," and I thank you, baby, for being.
But you know, my dad has always been like.
No, I know,
You've
but-
always looked out for my tia Carol too.
Yeah.
And my dad has always let her.
Yeah, he
you
just
know.
he loves me.
He does.
And he backs me up with what I ask, and I feel like
I'll do anything for my wife. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I know my wife would do anything for me.
real.
So how can I not do that for her? Like, she asked me for a favor to for people to stay with us, and I'm
Yeah.
like, that's fine, baby. But you know what? If where one eats, five we eat. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, I got my wife's back the way she has mine.
That's right.
Man, there's nothing that I would ever not do for her.
So just real quick, I know he just said that about my brother. I brought my mom. I felt like it would really be hard for her. Obviously, she just lost her son, and I didn't want to leave her alone. But when I brought her, there was just something that brought me back to Amado's situation. I asked my mom a question, and just because I'm on my father's health, I know everything about my dad, everything. And so my mom, you know, she didn't want to be as open. And I go, Mom, did you go get all your checks done and everything, you know, let's get your health going on. Yeah. She was hesitant, right? But something inside told me something was wrong. And, you know, my dog went into the bathroom, and little do you know that I just felt something. And that day I told my mom, I'm taking her to the hospital.
Everything happens for a
and
reason.
that day, hold on. and that-
Everything,
wait.
good
Go
or
ahead,
bad.
go ahead.
And that day I found out, and we took her to a specialist, and my mom was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. And so it hit me. I mean, it was like my brother has just passed
Back to
away,
back.
and now my mom, and I'm like, God, like,
let me just
you
say
wanna-
this. I'm sorry to cut you off, but then you can go after. My mother's the type to where she goes through everything and tries to be everybody's therapist and help everyone. And
The most selfless person in this world that I know is my wife.
and
And it's how beautiful she looks. She looks like, damn, she's
Hot mama.
No, like she doesn't care
Hot
about
mama,
herself, and she never like puts time into herself. Now she's going to the gym and she's working out. She's looking bomb.
So
Mama.
proud of my mom. So proud of you,
that
Mom.
type of woman. Wow.
Yeah.
These are the things I think, like, parents or mothers, let me speak for myself, is all these problems, you know, you know, I just let go of myself. I didn't care about my health. You want to put
Everybody's problems.
everybody
her.
else is a priority. And
When I went through that, you would go to food for comfort. You know what I
I
mean?
did. I went through, before that, I was dealing with my son. And then it just was like 6 trials back to back to back. And I was like, my God, from Fernando, you know, we dealt with that. You know, he overcame that. And then it was my son. And then it was my brother. And then it was a couple of things. I don't want to get into that. But then it was my mother. And it just was, I felt like, you know, God gave
Wave
me.
after wave
It
after-
was big waves. And I just want to encourage you guys, like, you know, these things that come your way. You know, I reached out because I felt like, man, I was sinking, and it showed, you know, my health deteriorated, and I stopped caring. And, you know, my kids saw it, and I thank God for my kids and my husband and my daughter. They encouraged me. You want to talk about encouragement of a family? I think I needed that. I felt really weak, and I love my family because, you know, my dad would be praying for me downstairs. I can hear him, and my son Emiliano turning on worship music, and I wanted to give up on a lot of things. And as parents, we feel we can fix everything, and when you can't, you know, you just gotta turn to God. And I feel like
I brought her so many gray hairs, but the red is covering them up.
The red is covering up.
but I think you know, I didn't mean to do that. You know what I mean? I didn't mean to put my parents through stress. Or my dad was even like, son, I had dreams where I had a call. Someone called me that, hey, Junior, you know, he got in a car accident or he passed away. It was just moving too fast. You know what I mean? And when I made it out of that whole situation, I thank God for my parents and how strong they are, because they were talking about some real numbers, you know what I mean? And I don't come from that. You know, my dad gave me everything. So for someone, like my dad says, to grow up in Disneyland and to finally go through something and your dad can't get you out of it because you made that mistake, I had to realize this. No one's going to look out for you more than you. My dad could want the best for me. He could want me to be a 20-time world champion, and they could want me to do everything right. But if I continue to make the same mistakes, that's why, rest in peace, my tío Lito, that's why he passed away. You know, he had demons that he couldn't really get over. His heart was huge. He would get out of jail and he would come, Chivita, I'm gonna clean this and clean that. And, you know, we went on hikes with him, and we really thought he was gonna get it together. You know, he was talking about getting it together for his kids, our cousins. Sheesh.
Yeah, but thank you guys. Thank you.
Thank you guys. You know what I mean? But like, I say all this to say this.
We can.
Amado was real close to him.
Yeah.
And he was like, out of everyone, I love my Amadito. He's a crazy one, the dark one. He would always protect him, because we would all be like, Amado, come on, bro. And he would be like, déjalo, you know, because he would kind of feel that. But, you know, I just want to say I'm sorry, guys. You know, I know.
Quiero decir algo de ti, Junior. Cuando tuviste problemas, mijo, yo le pedí mucho a Dios siempre.
He said, when you had problems, I prayed a lot to God.
Me costó muchas lágrimas y doy gracias también a una familia Capetillo que él se metió.
Cost me a lot of tears, and I want to thank Capetillo family too for supporting us.
Y me dio mucha alegría cuando te restauraste.
And give me a lot of joy when you restored yourself.
Y me dolió mucho cuando un peleador te ofendió mucho.
It hurt me when a fighter disrespected
eso
you.
me dolió bastante, ¿me entiendes?
¿Y cómo dices ahorita? Y ahora que se lo están tragando, ¿verdad?
No, espérame, te acabo de decir. y te tocó y peleaste con él y ganaste un cinto y luego ganaste la mejor pelea, y eso fue lo que llenó de alegría mi vida, y fue lo más grande que yo he visto.
You fought the guy, you beat him, and then you won the belt, and that's something that brought him so much joy.
Para mí eso fue lo máximo, hijo.
And that was the max. That was the max for him.
I just love my family. You know, my brother's mistakes, I know, like, at the end of the day, like, look, he did this, whatever, I'm not gonna do that. Or I like what he did there. Like, I feel like having brothers, it's all we learn from each other. That's why look, the youngest, whatever you guys say, whatever. The youngest, I want my youngest brother to win.
We want to see him win.
Let me tell you something. You fight the people. You guys, you try to separate us.
Divide.
You try to divide it, but you know, at the end of the day, it's not gonna happen, because my family's so tight, and at the end of the day, I got their back for life. So I love my brothers. I love my oldest brother. I want to see my whole family win. Yeah. So whatever a weird energy you guys try to comment or anything, just know at the end of the day, I got my brothers for life, and that's just what it is.
There's a lot more love, though. You know what I mean? There's a lot more love.
Don't get it twisted and feel like it's a lot of hate. No, it's all love.
It's always love.
With success brings envy.
Right.
So at the end of the day,
they hated you, Dad. Fernando.
And I did it by myself.
Yep.
No one helped me.
That's crazy.
All right, so nobody gave me rides. Yeah, I had to get rides from my Jefe Big G. I had to, I would walk to Colonia. I would steal bikes and then come home and then pick up a case because nobody wanted to give me a ride. So I got the cops waiting for me for and then give me a theft charge for stealing the kid's bike. I said, let me borrow your bike. He didn't want to let me borrow it.
Let me borrow it forever.
I'll be back. I'm gonna let me borrow it. He didn't let me borrow it. I push him off. I go to the gym.
You're evil.
I come home. The cops are right there waiting for me to give me give me a damn charge of theft.
And VargasTUBE, I just want to say thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We're
And this is so therapeutic. Like,
Yeah.
this is therapy. I feel like when you have, I mean, if you have a family, you do a podcast. You know,
look.
You never. I mean, look. Let's listen to him though.
Not
Go
just
ahead.
that. I just feel like whatever work. This is very good because
And we need it right now, right? We're kind of going through things.
And not only that, like, you know, everybody in life goes through certain stuff. And I feel like when you talk about it and you're not just quiet about it, you release stress.
Yeah.
So it's gonna help you. And you know, I feel like if you talk to your family and you're not so talkative, talk to your family. Tell them how you feel.
Yeah.
Just tell them like, Mom, I don't like this, or Mom, you know what I mean. Just talk to your family,
talk
and I
to
feel like that will help
somebody.
you. Yeah.
But aside from that, VargasTUBE, I just want to say thank you. This has been a very emotional episode of VargasCAST. We love you guys.
Well, you know one thing that I want everybody to know, and that I appreciate about them. They go, you know, your family is so unique, and your family is so real. Like, you know, you guys are not afraid to show emotions, and which is a beautiful thing because, you know, hey, that's what we're here. You know, we love our family so much that when we start talking about things, we start breaking down.
Ya, Fernando, quiero decir otra cosa de mis nietos que me honraron. Eso también a mí, eso me llenó completamente de un sueño que nunca pensé que se hiciera realidad.
I want to thank my nephews, my grandchildren for honoring me, and you know, I never thought that would happen in my life.
Me honraron los tres con un boleto a Miami.
They paid for three. You know, the three of them paid for me to go watch my favorite pastor in Miami, and that's what I was just so blessed by that.
¿A dónde fuimos, abuelo?
Y eso fue lo que me honró a mí. Y yo
I was so honored by that.
estaba sumamente, yo no sé cómo explicarlo, de alegría,
I can't even explain
de
it.
contento,
I was so happy.
de regocijado, no sé cómo decirlo.
Rejoiced.
Y yo creo que de tanto que estaba regocijado, por eso tuve esa visión de
I was
Dios.
so rejoiced. I had
Lo que Dios honró, pude ver
Pero
las manos del Señor.
¿a dónde fuiste? ¿A dónde?
I had
¿Cuál
a sight from
iglesia?
God.
A Miami, allí con el hermano Guillermo Maldonado.
His favorite preacher. Every time I walk in his room, he's always hearing that. I'm like,
Ese hombre, cuidado,
He
ese
says,
está pesado,
that
es
guy,
heavy.
be careful.
Ese debe regar.
He's heavy.
We took him.
Ahí está tremendo.
Like,
Grandpa's a whole vibe.
this
is
How
the
can
thing
you
about
not
our
love this
family.
man, bro?
Yeah,
Come
look,
on.
This is the
Heavy.
thing. This is the thing about our
Heavy
family.
stuff.
We just keep on going and going and going. Before we cut off, I just want to say real quick the story that he's trying to mention. You guys are like, what? What are they talking about? Miami? This, that. So my grandpa, obviously, like Junior said, listens to a preacher. His name is Guillermo Maldonado. He's one of my grandpa's favorite preachers. We had the opportunity. Obviously, we were in a training camp in Miami, and he's from Miami. And me and Junior thought about, why don't we fly Grandpa out here and have him go to that church? He's always watching it on YouTube.
And mind you, Junior was in training camp. He was helping Rosario get ready for Charlo. Bueno,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
And-
Go ahead. Get ready for Lubin.
And
Okay.
we were able to do that for my grandpa, and he was just...
Because we're out there for a whole month, so we're like, Emmy hit me and was like, bro, why don't we just have Grandpa come for the
It's so
weekend?
humid out there.
Anyway.
Hey, let's do a trip. Go ahead.
I love this.
Anyways,
I love the try
grandpa,
here.
te amo. Eso es algo pequeño.
Cuéntales que te dieron dinero en la comida, hijo. ¿Te acuerdas que no pagamos? Cuenta eso.
It's, just bless. God is good, but we're gonna wrap up. VargasCAST, thank you so much. Thank you for being a part of this episode. Like I said, this episode
appreciate
is
y'all.
very emotional. Comment down below, you know, what you want to see in the next videos, and we're out here. Thank you.
Love
you
you
so much.
guys. Bye.
And VargasTUBE, we're at the end of a beautiful podcast today. And now look, everybody is enjoying a beautiful dinner. Yes. Family came together.
We love you guys.
After a very emotional podcast.
Yes.
Probably one of the best.
This is how we
Celebrate after.
Yeah.
thank you guys for tuning in. Down like James Brown. Some big news coming. I hope you're ready. We love you guys. Saturday.